Welcome to another episode of the Fat Cats Rugby podcast. Yeah, it has been an interesting off-the-air conversation, and you can see I'm a bit destabilized. My name is Ruben Kihumuro, but yet again, we're here for, I should say, this one should be particularly candid, and I would like to call it the unpopular opinions, because I have a couple of gentlemen that are not afraid to express themselves. But it has been a good weekend. For those that watched Chadondo, you saw what happened. You saw how the Pirates were able to be the first team to make Heathens fail to score a try this season in the league. And also, for those that were there later on, you were able to see Edwin, who was telling everyone he could find and that could give him a chance to listen, that he used to play 10. So yeah, that's what was happening. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
I think just I don't know what capacities I should really address, because you guys have a lot of things you do, but from just what I'm going to introduce, starting to the man nearest to me, Edgar Baron, senior photojournalist. I don't know, it is a tricky situation. You could say the wrong thing and you find yourself trending on Twitter.
I'm a verified photojournalist.
First, tell us, how does it feel now losing that blue tick? After having it for so long, not refusing to talk to people that don't have a blue tick, how does it feel?
But it feels good. I enjoyed it when it really mattered. Now, anyone can have it. I shouldn't be like...
You mean you're not going to pay for it?
The one I would like to pay for is maybe the yellow one.
Okay.
Not the blue one.
It is at a different price.
Yeah, $1,000.
And then we have a gentleman who's dressed very, very smartly. You'd think he's a president of the Uganda Rugby Union.
They say they didn't pick the forms.
No, he actually picked the forms. I am witness to this.
Yes.
We were at Good Friday Touch Rugby. This man had forms and he was looking for signatures. But my theory is I think he forgot those forms somewhere in some bar.
It's back.
So, good sir, tell us, from announcing that you wanted to stand for Uganda Rugby Union, Mr. Okot Emmanuel,
Yes.
a.k.a. Khoty,
Yes.
what happened in between that short space and voting?
You see, usually I consult from my madam. We share ideas. Yeah. And we sat at home and talked about it. And she told me, no, it was too early. I was not ready. There's a lot about rugby that I did not know. And she told me, no, use this period to actually understand rugby better. Go back to the grassroots, go to the regions, understand the rugby structures here and there. Because even if you're voted in, what do you really know? Yes, you've played, but in administration, you're still lacking. So I'm back to the drawing board. 2027, I'll be there.
Who's this presidential advisor? Yeah?
Hey, you will see her.
Hey,
Those who know her, know her.
Have you ever been at least a TM somewhere? A technical team manager somewhere?
I have never been a team manager.
Oh, a social media handler.
I have been a social media handler, and I'm the guy behind the Halarams hashtag.
Hey, you've finally exposed yourself.
I have exposed myself and a couple of other social media handles. You know, there are those ones I don't want to disclose.
So was that enough experience to want to stand for Uganda Rugby Union presidency?
No, it wasn't enough experience, but I felt, I mean, what do I need? They don't want a certificate of senior 6, a degree. You just go and pick forms.
You have money.
We have a 9.8 billion budget. I'll get a 1 billion kickback and I'll have the money.
Wali on Katumba, oh yeah, vibes.
This is Biraro. But anyway, and then at the father's point, Mr. Sama Emmanuel,
Yes.
a.k.a. Sama Eat Food, a.k.a. Sama What Do What. He has had very many things there. A very controversial man. I don't know if he does it for attention or just... usually his opinion is different from the other people. I like to call him the Quade Cooper of Ntangas. He's also a senior referee who many say that he retired before he should have, and others said perhaps yafune walala gy'aliira.
Ruben, let me interject. When you talked of senior referee, I remember Sama is the only ref, by the way, who has fitting shots. These were fitted. Chara.
We've just started, guys.
Say inherited. Yeah.
I know who gave them to him, but he also fitted.
Were Sama's shots from the same guy that gave him those socks? Those legendary socks that he puts on.
With his
that he put on in Makerere, and he was trending for like 2 days.
You know, yesterday someone said post a pic which had your DMs blowing up. Hey.
You mean that? You mean that
outfit had your DMs blowing up?
That
The girls being my DMs.
Were people feeling sorry for you? They wanted to give you money for clothes or what?
Your approach is you're coming in from the side.
Anyway, gentlemen, welcome to the Fat Cats podcast again. I will say this.
Thank you.
Before we get into so much, I'd like to pick your brains. What are your thoughts? What is your feedback about the podcast so far from what you've heard? I'll start with you, Sam.
Well, I think it has been expressive. We've gotten a chance to hear from different people who run the sport, different stakeholders, express their independent thoughts. And I like how it goes deeper into issues you will not be able to crack from a normal interview. Yeah. So it's like a conversation. The only thing missing here is beer, but well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I feel like it's able to go deep, which you would not be able to get from an ordinary interview. So getting pause, random thoughts. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Well, you talked about beer. Now that we are stayed here with someone that is affiliated to the Guinness brand, maybe we shall get a good deal there, and then we shall be having some Guinnesses here, hopefully in the future. But Khoty, tell us, what's your favorite podcast so far?
So far? You know I'm a Team Zeno guy. Yeah? I'm Team Zeno. He was actually going to be my vice president, technical. Yeah, I had a cabinet. I had Zeno as vice president technical. Then I had Cloud of Cobbs, who was going to be my vice president commercial. Then obviously me. Then I had Regina Lunyolo. It was vast. It was going to be something interesting. But the podcast with Zeno, Zeno is a very insightful guy. Yeah, today I tweeted and said, guys really think Zeno is mad, but I think I'm more mad than Zeno.
I don't object to that.
But the approach differs. Zeno comes full hard. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, according to our statistics at the moment, Zeno's podcast is the most watched. Edgar, man, there was a time when you were I want to say you were very, very frequent in rugby. Then Mans became international. From that point, it's not easy to see you. I'm even fearing to ask if you watch
the notification, you have been verified. Your blue tick will check up any minute from now. Sweet.
Yeah, I know that's one of the reasons why we have him here. You never know the Fat Cats podcast will get a blue tick.
Oh, yes. So since the tick went away, we hope to see more of him.
You see, he even accepted to come on the podcast. If that blue tick was still there, impossible.
But I came because I am now among the Fat Cats.
No.
There is also that.
Ruben, before we had started, Edgar said the next time I go back to Europe,
Yes.
I quoted that bit.
Actually,
the next time.
You did say that, but like a guy, you just feel it in your
mind.
like,
I didn't want to question it. Yeah, so I just looked at that.
To the point, I think the podcast is awesome. My favorite podcast was actually the one that had the ladies.
Exactly.
Because all there's always so much rugby going on in the podcast. But then that podcast had some more out of the pitch rugby going on. And I think so many people enjoyed it. To me, I thought it was actually the best performing podcast on your platform.
It's number 2.
But it will go to number 1.
Something about Zeno that people always want to hear.
But I think the questions that you asked that day, the vibe, I think you just need to add some more fans beats and a little more technical, but it's an awesome podcast. I usually listen to it on Apple Podcasts.
Thank you very much. I think you guys have had verified people.
Did he have to add Apple?
You have to let people know.
The man said,
are you holding a phone or an iPhone? It's a whole different dynamic. So, anyway, gentlemen, today is a day of a lot of things, a bit of Kusala words, a bit of picking into your brains, understanding rugby on and off. But I want to start with this. Do you think rugby fans are gatekeeping this sport? Sama, you have been in a similar conversation online. Do you think that we gatekeep this sport?
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some days people don't want to hear people giving them false information. Like if I know something and I hear someone saying something false about it, I'll be like, no, what you're speaking is wrong. Yeah. And other times, of course, people trying to encourage, like, let's have more fans coming in, etc. So I think it comes more about to someone speaking from a point of ignorance. Yeah. So if you know something and then you hear someone spreading false information about it, of course you'll try to come up and object, and then you'll be like, let's go back and revise. Don't just come for. Yeah. But yeah, we try to encourage people to come in as much as possible. Yeah. But we just don't like the ignorance being, spread around. So don't just come for. Yeah, join the sport, but don't just come for.
In 2022 and coming into this year, we've had a very large influx of new younger fans into the sport. Edgar, just looking at your friends, many of your friends outside the rugby circles, what do they say about this sport? We had Posha, who told us that many times people don't come for rugby because she said that because one, they think rugby men are broke. So that means there's no money to spend, no disposable income. Is that true, Khoty?
Yes, you're dealing with a guy who gets 10K allowance.
We're not talking about, when we talk about rugby men, we're not talking only about the players. Even us, the fans.
Us, the fans, we are drunk.
No, but for me, I think it's about the experience. Most of my friends love to enjoy an experience. Many of them do not understand the sport technically a lot, but then the vibe that comes around the sport, because you'll see, it's easy for me to invite my friends to a game at Impis. You get, because Impis has energy, guys are shouting. But now, if you go for a game of Rhinos and Walukuva,
okay.
It's just about the experience. That's what I think. And then the thing about gatekeeping, I think the influx has come in because we've all moved away from wanting to be part of that small circle of rugby fans.
The 23.
So there are these new ones that are disorganized and saying anything they want online, that are giving out the energy. So the 23 are trying to consolidate themselves, but even the other ones are doing their thing. So there are these all different circles that are coming up in the rugby. See, even Pirates now has fans. Those days everyone wanted to be like part of Impis because we're the only ones that had fans. And online, it's only our fans that had data. But now you see that even other clubs are now getting fans that are opening up Twitter accounts. They're creating their fans clubs and not all trying to talk about Impis. You get? I think that's what has given the sport more light. But you need to give credit to Impis.
But yeah, because we say this digital revolution. Yeah, we said it was like a joke. We'd just go online and just talk about rugby. Before that, people never used to talk about rugby online. They would just tweet, hey, there's a game. But back then, there are just stories of Bondo. Rugby guys like Bondo. Back in the days.
Kampala Sundays.
Such things. But yeah, we made the game, more lively, So yeah, give credit where it's due. Yeah, because Pirates, I think they just took our blueprint, they took it to Woyogere.
Copy and paste?
Implemented.
Okay.
Yeah,
but anyway,
but we are happy it's working out for them. Yeah, rugby is winning.
Yeah,
Because it's also trying, but I don't know how to describe it, but well, you know what they do. So.
But anyway, we do need to give Impis its credit. They have been trending even before trending was a thing in rugby.
The rugby social media revolution.
It's great to see brands like Pirates now getting on the bandwagon and also pushing their own brands. I think one of the things that I have really appreciated about Pirates and leveraging their fans has been the replicas and the jerseys. these days you go to a home game of at Kings Park and you will see so many people clad in those jerseys. I know some are called the changes,
But
and others.
there's a problem with Uganda teams. So either you have 2 away kits or you don't have an away kit. So it's confusing. But at least they try. We're happy for them.
Because for you have green and pink.
I think the one thing they did well was making their jerseys relatively affordable compared to other teams.
And I think they have a payment plan also.
I
Yes,
think they
they have
do
a
have a
payment
payment
plan.
plan.
That was
Don't you
good.
think clubs should be learning from that
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, I think there's Impis were the grandfathers of the game, but I think there are lessons that we need to take away from Pirates. How organized their fans club is. These are guys that I have known that can pull and get a coaster to go to Ginger and enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Previously, it was only the old people at Chadondo that would do that, but now if you see even the young people, and then they have even done more. I'm hearing about the payment plan for the jerseys. You know, they say people in rugby are broke, so man, putting aside that, how much is it? 150.
Pirates' jersey is 119. But then, 119. But you find the average price is 150 for a rugby jersey. We do have people that have jerseys at 200,000.
Oh.
I even had there is one at 250.
That is, I think, Buffalo's at 250.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buffalo is the most expensive replica.
Oh, and I think
It
the
has
other
always
thing they
been.
need to do is maybe they could come up with these packages. You see how the guys in football organize their cards. You have a card, you have a jersey, you have a ticket entrance to all games. And then the most lacking bit is the experience
Season
of
ticket.
they will organize all these things, but they'll want to make you sit in the mud. You get? So I think there's...
You want them to carry you on your 10K? Vera munawe.
But no, he's talking about something that was even mentioned, that, man, sometimes you go to a rugby club and there's not even an umbrella. Actually, this is an opinion of many women.
To talk about our club.
That there's no umbrella, man. You be there melting in the kasana with your makeup. You can't even snap properly. Why aren't we creating a conducive environment for the women?
I think Edgar would say they're using Android phones to snap. They should upgrade to Apple.
Anyway.
But an Android phone shouldn't snap.
Hey.
Anyway, so I want to just jump into this, which is, I think, the most recent debacle that has been happening. Now, Heathens having lost to Pirates on the weekend, it seems like everything else is falling apart as well. Online now, first of all, maybe just to give a background story, there was already the whole situation of the chest and the fans that remained. The chest even had the audacity to go and buy jerseys
And print their own jerseys.
and also their shirts. But they'd do all that, but they wouldn't pay for your membership. Then, now you had something you've been ranting about, telling people how Heathens has no youthful side to its fan base, and also the separation. And I think I can note that also on the weekend, Pirates fans were louder than Heathens fans at Chadondo.
That is very, very
When
true.
you looked at Eddie Chiwanuka's side, there were very few Heathens fans.
No, but guys, I think we need to first appreciate that people from Chadondo have open Twitter accounts and they're actively tweeting. This is a start.
Who are these people you're talking about?
I see so many
today
accounts.
We've come
I see so many accounts, but I'm happy that these people are joining Twitter. They are tweeting and they are engaging in the sport.
Yeah.
But then about the paying membership, that's what I was telling you about. The youthful guys are not going to pay you just for vibes. They want to pay and there's an experience.
There should be reason.
There should be reason. You're not going to make guys pay, then after the game, they bounce and
Takes
go
me
home.
back to something in my manifesto. Guys were thinking that I was joking. I was telling
Where
guys.
did you put this manifesto for us to see?
Musanjo for Benjamin has it. I was telling guys, in my manifesto, the headline I was winning Waji would be there for games. You're not going to make a person pay membership, what, the game is boy. At least Nwaji will come to work, what, guys buy beer. You get it? Guys, you go home and say, Nwaji namulabe kumutwalo. And you're up.
I know, the cheapest concert. I can't think about it. Think about rugby's fan packs. Like the cheapest concert, you pay like 15k max or something, and you're watching
max.
like Azawi, Winnie Nwadi, and what other places. How much would you be paying?
How much would you be paying? Yeah?
And you know it's not as packed as when you pay 10k at Cricket Oval.
So anyway, Khoty,
Yes.
tell us what was on your heart. What was hurting you so much that you said some stuff, then a couple of Heathens fans came and attacked you. Some were supporting you. What happened?
For starters, on the 13th of April this month, I crossed over to Cobbs. Yes, I have announced.
Did they accept
We are
to
going
sign
to
you?
we are going to talk about
They
that
accepted me.
later. You
Now,
and your 100 clubs.
What I was speaking is something I experienced. I mean, I've been at Chadondo for very many years. Yeah, we are not going to count them down, but I've been at Chadondo for very many years, and I've seen how other clubs are actually growing and surpassing. Yeah. Look at Pirates today. Are you going to tell me that Chadondo in the next 2 years will be anywhere closer to Pirates? Impis just needs a fence, not those Biwembe. And they will be way bigger. Yeah? Rams, I keep checking on Rams socials because I still have the passwords. Rams today has...
Wait. Aren't you supposed to hand over that?
Did you handle? You're in Cobbs, you still have Rams in Ogins. What's that?
I see Rams has about 5,000 followers on Twitter. From hustling to just hit 100. Yeah? There is something we need to embrace. And this is one thing. Yes, Chadondo guys attacked and everything. I said what I said. I cannot take it back because it's the truth. We have the old guys who started this at Chadondo. We appreciate. But there's going to be time. The principle must also come. Yeah? We appreciate what they did. And I asked a simple question. Show me a senior 6 vacist who is an ardent Heathens fan, and I'll show you where he comes from, his home.
Does their home matter?
It does not matter.
As long as they're
but
20 years.
the only reason why a senior 6 vacist will be a Heathens fan is proximity to Chadi.
Okay.
You get?
You're saying it's a radius of how many kilometers?
Yeah?
Tell you
It's
something.
proximity to Chadi.
Since way back, Heathens has had like one fan, Edgar Baron. But because he makes too much noise, you
We think
guys
they're many.
think that there are many.
No, I mean,
Yes,
It's just been of recent that Sarah Dong has joined him. Now there are two. There are now two.
Ruben, you
but
see-
they
Wait.
make too much noise to create the confusion that there are many.
In
How
two-
many Heathens fans do you know?
2018 we
This
were
guy
very
used to
many.
be a fan.
We were very many in 2018. I mean, I could count, I couldn't even count. We were so many.
Name like 10.
I named like 10.
Yeah.
There was me,
Yeah.
there was Lucy Subi, there was Eddie Chiwanuka, there was Uncle Billy Wawuyo, Emma TM. You know, the number is
I
endless.
don't put the technical team.
That is not a technical. It is a,
Back to
we
my
call,
point.
We call him
Back to
TM.
my
We
point.
call him TM.
Back to my point. How many Heathens fans have you met in real life? In real life?
There is a guy
This
in
is over.
Mukono I
Even
see. There's
Khoty.
a border guy I see in Mukono as a Heathens jersey. That guy is an ardent fan. Yes.
Oh, okay, those are two.
So you are still telling us about what you wanted to do and what
So-
happened to that.
Heathens has moves close by. Beautiful girls who don't have lunch.
Eh,
All you have to do
But
is
now,
tell her come.
you cannot.
You get?
You guys can't go to mobs. I tell you, Picanyo.
No,
You guys
this
do
is
not
what I'm
watch
telling you. This
highlights.
was in my work plan. These are things I talked about. These are things I talked about with Lucy way back.
You would need to first enter a rebrand. Do you know how long it took you guys to get a logo?
We had a logo.
Which logo?
Oh, they had a logo.
The Chadondo
Yeah, the
logo.
Chadondo logo.
That is Chadondo logo.
Yeah,
A
when
whole
you're
chat-
referring now, you
Eh.
don't refer to me as refer to me as a blue army guy.
So,
I know it in motion.
The rebrand will take your century.
No, but Heathens and Chadondo entirely. By the Buffaloes is growing. Buffaloes is going to surpass. Why? Because Buffaloes is open.
But Buffaloes has been always like
Yeah?
that.
Buffaloes
it goes up,
is-
it goes down.
No,
it goes up,
no.
it goes
This
down.
time things have
if they
changed.
don't poke players out of this.
This time things have changed. Ever since Mike Cox started, take away Mbera. Things are working out, yeah? So Heathens also needs to embrace a youthful fan base because these guys are going to phase out. Some of them are going to retire to their villages in Rachitura, where, and they will not be able to keep traveling to Kampala to watch rugby. But these kids, whom you want to charge 150k to go to Jinja. Yeah. These kids also need to be encouraged to come in. The kid pays 20k, based on them mafuta in a coaster. The rest they will sort themselves that side. Yeah. And then also we need to, and this is another thing I would love in rugby. We need to embrace a certain kind of Ubuntuism. If we moved kids from Kampala to go and watch a game in Jinja, we should consider, I think they should reintroduce that thing of a student ID.
That's
think
what I was
it's
about to
still
no,
there.
that's
Yeah,
what I was
because-
about to tell you. I believe that the
Different
price,
venues,
Chadondo must be having the most priced games
No,
in
yes,
the league,
but
right?
that student ID only works, I think, at Makerere, and because Makerere has a
Kings
gate.
Park.
Legends,
It has
it
been
works.
applied at
Kings
Kings
Park,
Park.
it works. I'm
Legends.
not sure about Chadondo. Even Legends, they used
Legends.
to say, yeah,
think
they
Legends
used to.
do.
I don't know now. They used to. They
Wait,
used
those
to.
Legends guys are tough. They can even throw out Dungu.
They're just journalists who had IDs, cultural student ID.
No,
So-
sometimes maybe it was a guy like Khoty who comes with like his ID from like Mook back then and he wants to enter. So there's also that. Depends on who brings the
It shows
ID.
expired,
Don't
but the
look
guy
very
is saying
old
the
that
end is
day,
student.
eh?
Khoty's 2001 Mook ID.
Anyway, before we continue, just to let the people know that we're at the Fred and Winnie B&B, and why should you consider the Fred and Winnie B&B for your next endeavors, whether you are having people coming town, whether you're thinking about yourself getting a getaway and just a staycation away from all the hassles and the bustles of Kampala and Uganda. There are 10 self-contained bedrooms. There is a fully equipped kitchen, there's a power backup system, there's Wi-Fi, there's laundry services, a chef to cater to your every meal. There's a sumptuous buffet breakfast with a choice of selected tropical fruits and juice, and pick up and drop off to and from Entebbe International Airport, as well as if you are trying to travel around Uganda, you can have that arranged as long as you book in advance. And the number to call is 0778 933 559. You just let them know that a Fat Cat sent you, and you'll get amazing offers. We had so many offers for the month of March, April as well. There are a lot of people that are coming in, so join the movement and get something standard at a very, very good rate. But anyway, so Khoty,
Yes.
finalizing with what you are trying to say, how we are trying to understand what was in your work plan and who stopped your work plan. You, our president.
The Chadondo work plan or the union work plan?
No, the one for the fans, the Chadondo.
For the fans, I realized I was actually just chasing validation, you know. You're trying to, you know, that cashew, that kadate shoe that wants to fit in the new ones. I was that guy, yeah. It wasn't working. I loved my entire Chadondo experience, but some things were just not working out, and I felt it was time for me to move on. I feel Cobs is quite a better and more interesting.
So, what
community
do you
for
have
me.
planned for Cobs?
Cobs, when they talk of young fans, everybody only knows the Dung. So I want to be the other young guy with the Dung. And maybe I'll pull along Madame, her siblings, my siblings, you know, and my
Some as
sibling, and my children.
Is it by any coincidence that you're switching to Cobs when they are now top of the table?
No, it
With
is not
3
by
games to go?
coincidence. It's not by coincidence. My sister has always tried to pull me to Cobs, but I was hesitant.
So why Cobs now?
You could have gone back
I
to
think-
Rams.
Because Heathens, no, I want you to see this picture. Heathens was on top of the table. You were supporting Heathens. Heathens was beaten and they dropped, and the Cobs went on top. Now you're a Cobs fan.
No.
You want to tell me there is no pattern there?
Listen, for starters, I do not support rugby because of who is winning where and why. I support the sport I played, the joy, the thrill. I believe the thrill is in the chase. And Cobs, it's not because they're on top of the table. They are a much smarter, organized side. Their fan base, you know. Right now I am a fan. I hope to come back for Uganda Cup, and Cobs looks like they could
What
use
position
a flanker.
do you play? A flanker.
Cobs looks like they could use a flanker. Oh, by the way, Warriors also approached. They told me there's still room, but they're not playing Uganda Cup.
They probably will, because field teams are allowed to play Uganda.
Yes, so I'm not moving because Cobbs is now on top of the table. No, it is so. There's a lot. It's a chain. I've always spoken about it, and today I actually brought back an old tweet. I tweeted some time back, and by then I was still very ardent a Heathens fan. But I would make those tweets, and then the other challenge at Chadondo, once you speak, guys are like, I will talk about. You get. I am a free man. I want to express. I don't eat at anyone's home. Even if I do, I'll eat once. You get. So I should be given opportunity to air out my views. I shouldn't be limited. I am very vocal. I'm a social worker. Social workers are not quiet here. You see, it's like the way Sama keeps whistling. It's because he's used to holding a whistle. He's a ref. These are things, adaptations.
When do we expect you to now cross over to Pirates? At what point?
I don't see myself crossing over to Pirates in the next 3 years.
There is a list you put out of your affiliations, player/fans, I think. But what I saw was really you claiming to play for all these clubs.
No, I did not claim to play for all of them. I think you misread the tweet. Yes, these are teams I played for some and supported some. Okay. Yeah? Some I tried to play for them and it didn't work out.
We all know, I think, that our attachment to our clubs is even sometimes stronger than attachment to relationships. So how come you have the capacity to jump to bandwagon so much from one team to the other like that?
You see, when the president of this country was asked why he moved his son from Budo to St. Mary's College, Kisubi, he said, as a herdsman, you cannot keep the cows in one place. You need to move them to a greener pasture.
Okay.
Yeah? So I move with the tide. I am not going to be locked down. Are you still putting on the fashion clothes that were trending, bell bottoms of the 90s? You're an 86 guy, right?
Bro.
You know, we are now moving. Now we are putting on fitting, you know. Some can afford sneakers, you know. It's moving on. Baron is
interesting to see Sama in his British and Irish lands, jersey. Very, very interesting. Then this one is on. I don't know. Is this? You have this reputation that you're one of the biggest mogo eaters / wogos.
Yes, he's a mogo.
Is this a gig, Vipers? Why we have a soccer jersey on our rugby podcast? I don't understand.
It's inclusivity.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm being inclusive.
We shall not gatekeep.
It's full coexistence.
Yeah. So when the Vipers fans see this, they'll be interested.
Okay. We hope they spare a minute
or two.
The color blue. And the color blue.
With the tick and it's an affiliation.
We pray you get the golden tick, but will you talk to us?
The man said when he goes back to Europe.
When he goes back to Europe, let's not forget
his
that.
next visit.
So on a previous podcast, I asked this question, and now I just want to switch it up a little bit. And I think I'll ask Edgar first. Would you recommend anyone to date a rugby girl or a woman in a rugby circle?
Depends
or in the rugby
club.
circle? Depends on the club. There are some clubs that are... I don't know how to complete that statement.
Man has been
Some
down
clubs
that
are
road.
young.
Please elaborate this for us.
Out of experience
Mm-hmm.
and hearsay. There are some clubs,
Mm.
but I think it would be awesome to date someone from the rugby circle. They are passionate. I believe they'll be passionate about the relationship as well.
What do you have to say about the sharing in the rugby circle? Sharing and caring. God said share.
For me, I'm not
Basing
a
on
person
your
that-
experience.
My experience was a bit overboard, but the rest that I've looked at have relatively been fine, and it's a normal habit. You know, on our Twitter, we say Kampala is one big dormitory. So rugby is just like one corner.
One section.
No, it's a corner.
Hey,
You know,
one
that chaotic corner. Hey, you guys share.
The one where they break the bulb and it stays dark.
Sama, tell us, would you recommend
Out of
someone Bambi who has
experience.
come around
Out of
out of your
experience, Sama.
experience?
Some also has experience. Let him not lie.
It depends. The guys, the ladies.
The ladies.
Of course,
I
we are
think it's a
guys
different
here.
experience.
We are guys here, so we are saying.
No, I
would
think
you
the
date
ladies are kawa.
The
ladies-
problem is with the guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's their problem?
But you see,
exactly?
the sharing bit of it is, I think, people now used. Back in Namilyango, we used to have a saying in Namilyango, we share. Yeah, so I think guys right now are used to that, and they're moving along with it. Hey, they say woman is only used when she's in front of you.
Oh,
So
even to be a shift.
yeah,
She can be in front of you.
but now we're face
So
play.
she can be in front of you and she's not yours.
Well,
Out of experience.
that's yours. Isn't it? That's yours.
Khoty,
That's yours.
Yes.
you're also one of those who have like 10 years experience in this thing.
And
If it
Khoty
was
has
a job,
20.
you would be trying to vie for maybe a MD position because of perhaps having a
Consultant.
PhD consultant. So tell us, would you recommend, and if so, why? If not, why?
I definitely would recommend anybody who wants
Is it
to
because
date,
you've benefited from the system?
No, I've actually not dated a rugby lady.
Are you trying to lie to us here because there's a camera? Or what?
No, I've not dated a rugby lady. Yes, I've dated a
But they were
lady
dating
in rugby
themselves.
circles, but not a rugby playing lady. You asked about
Not rugby playing lady.
Ah.
A lady, a woman in the rugby circles.
what
Don't
do
try
we
to be
know?
political with us here. Eh?
No, I would actually recommend, yeah. The sharing bit, I don't know about the sharing bit. That one I leave it to Edgar and Sama because they're the ones who have more experience on that. But I would actually recommend rugby ladies are fun ladies.
Mm.
You know, I am a Nigos guy.
Yeah.
I don't want someone to spill it before I spill it. Today we've come for truth. I'm a Nigos guy.
As a Nigos guy.
As a Nigos guy? Man.
Rugby lady.
You reap the
Rugby
benefits.
lady.
Where have you gotten your best Negos experience amongst the rugby clubs?
There is nowhere that beats Kings Park, you guys. From lockdown to date. Any day. Just wake me up and tell me there's Nigos, I'll answer Kings Park.
But still, Paris have failed to convert you into a fan.
They cannot convert me into a fan yet, but a player maybe.
Reminds me of some time back when Musa Monge said Chadondo failed to convert some pocketers into fans.
Hey.
So
Is
also
it you
Kings
that
Park.
said that?
Yes,
Musa
it is
said
Musa.
that.
Isn't it someone that said it?
We have.
So Musa. So back to Musa. So Paris has failed to convert Nigos fans into Paris fans. Yeah. So that's a failure on them. I hope when Musa sees this, he's able to react.
So what is the conversion rate?
The conversion rate, I think, is 1 to 0. I only know one
The
Nigos
bounce
guy
back
who
rate
was
is high.
cross.
You just bounce back after the Nigos. And
There's only one guy I know who's like, you know what?
Nigos has won. He allowed
Yeah,
it.
Nigos won. I mean, I want to out him, but
Hey.
Leave the guy. He may cause problems. But yeah, you guys have talked about Musa. Musa these days, it's like he has the PR role for Pirates for some reason. I don't know if it was officially given to him
He
or just Rugezi. Because you just talk about Pirates
Musa
a
is
little bit.
eating.
Musa must be eating.
He's
eating.
Yeah.
Because sometime back I phoned Musa when he had given up on Pirates. Why did he get
He had
this
started
sudden
training
passion?
at Chambogo.
He was playing 5 minutes for Chambogo. Coming on as a sub,
Musa
spending
age.
5 minutes and
Lol.
getting off.
I know August when I see it.
Yeah. I mean, Edgar's put on weight, guys. Give Musa some time.
We are really going to induct you into the fat cats because you are trying to chase Edwin.
Edwin is ahead.
There's one thing I forgot to mention before we jump to something else. Something that Nyombi tweeted, that all was fine when Heathens had no fans on here. Just beat guys, sing about rice and meat, and be kawa. These tweeting ones are the problem. Do
are the
you guys
tweeting
agree with that? Because it doesn't seem like it comes natural to them. And no offense, but
Well, we appreciate effort. They are trying.
effort.
But
is key.
effort.
Ruben, you see,
Mm,
most guys are looking at it
mm.
at the angle of it being bad. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've seen Lucy tweet and say this and that. Yeah, but the name Heathens is actually moving. We are giving them free mileage.
Mm.
No one is paying me
But
to
can I tell
mention
you something?
Heathens.
This has always happened, but there's nothing that has changed that event.
Maybe this time there may be a revolution because
In
I
your
spoke.
20 years experience, you see a revolution now.
I am the freedom fighter.
But you ran away. You ran away.
Anyway, there's too much poetry in
Yeah,
motion.
anyway, so just to talk about the referees a little bit. This season there's been a lot. And from, I think the biggest we all know it was Cobbs, Heathens Cobbs. It's now even a nickname,
Heathens
it's a
Buffaloes.
moniker. You can be like, the guy has done a Kautimba. So much happened. Others were blaming Sama because he retired and decided to play for Ntangas instead of officiate some of these big games. So Sama, you as an experienced referee, what do you have to say about the standard of refereeing in the country at the moment? Do you think our fans are just overreacting and it's something that happens everywhere? What do you have to say about the whole refereeing fiasco?
First of all, to address this, I have to put a disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm only speaking as Sama, not as anyone. I'm not representing anyone. Yeah, this is just me. And as you can see how the panel is organized today, I'm the technical person. These are just jokers and drunkards.
But today I'm an expert at least. I'm a photojournalist.
Okay. So, people hold Ugandan referees at international standards, but they don't treat them at international standards.
Okay.
I think that's what they call double standards.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm rhyming.
The word standards like 30 times.
Yeah, so I stopped referring like a while back. I think there was a circuit at Kings Park. I think it was Wakito Sevens. Wakito Sevens, we, of course, Sevens run the whole day. Yeah, so of course, you do games the whole day. And then they gave us rice without soup. You see? How games work?
Wait, had they invited Kenyan referees?
This time,
No sukuma.
Even fans cannot relate with that. Omuchero okutali nyama. How?
Rice. And I'm like, okay, maybe they will compensate at the end. They gave us 30K at the end of the day. I'm like, you guys, I spend the whole week, 5 days working at the job. They pay me well. And then I come for my weekends to suffer.
Be abused.
Yeah, abused by drunkards and illiterates. So I'm like, at my job, I'm a respected person. You come here, you guys who have never even opened the law book, they're jazzing for you. Like, is it worth it? Yeah? So, I just gave up, man. So, but because I like rugby passion, I came back this year and I do like schools games. Because that side, first of all, I'm
Kids
passionate.
not abused?
Yeah, first of all, I'm passionate about schools rugby. It's really exciting. And yeah, kids respect you. Yeah,
Okay.
they respect you, and yeah,
You
you
boss
won't-
your game.
Yeah, and at least they are going to school, they're studying, and they're not taking beer, so they are sober. They are sober, and yeah, they are studying. So at least that's bearable, and they can easily be taught. Kids are eager to learn, but then you find someone at the club after like his couple bottles of beer, and then he's jazzing you about things he doesn't know about. He has never opened the law book. He doesn't know how it's applied, but he's convinced that is right, and then attacks you. So such things, they make it, see how Timba was thrown under the bus over this confidence thingy. It was because you see, World Rugby tends to protect referees. It's not an easy task because you are handling decisions which is going to affect the whole stadium.
Yeah.
So Timba was thrown under the bus, but I hope since the elections are done, people can go back and review that case and they handle it in a less political way.
So you are saying that what Utimba did
Yeah.
is a case that was right? Because saying he
I
was
could
thrown
argue-
under
I-
the
I
bus,
could argue that out.
Is you saying that
I could argue that out.
Would you have officiated it in the same way?
Well, I will never know until I'm there. But I could have argued out, like it could have easily been a penalty try. I could have argued out. In fact, sometime back I had a conversation online, and I was trying to present my case of why it could be easily given as a penalty try. Because let me go through you my thought process. So last minute etc. Heathens are given a penalty kickable. Cobs player prevent Cobs from stop Heathens from taking the penalty.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Have you seen guys score tries from penalty kicks?
Yes, I have.
So it's possible for someone to score from a try from a penalty kick.
Yes.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So according to the law, if say someone commits foul play, which stops a pebble try from being scored, so Cobs players preventing heathens from taking the kick, that's misconduct. Misconduct under law 9 of rugby, that's foul play.
True.
So they did foul play, preventing a scenario which could result into a try. So Mutimba could have been right. It could have, if you look at it at that thought process, it could have been right. Yeah, but how they handled it afterwards is what is questionable. I felt like it was a political move, but as I said, since the elections are done, the things can be handled in a proper way.
Well, but his suspension saw him go to South Africa. Now we are seeing him officiate.
No, of course,
as well in the whatever Bats Cup.
Let me be, of course, it wasn't like, of course, that was like for you guys who don't know, like, to just make you happy. He wasn't really punished. But still, them putting out a statement showing he has been punished, it
wasn't necessary.
Yes, it puts down his, people would, they say Utimba, what do they say? Utimba referee or something.
Utimba.
Yes, doing a Kautimba. You see, people have coined a phrase around him because Union gave him out, like, referee has been suspended, what was wrong. They could have handled it better.
I want to interject, Samaya. As fans, there are things we should also consider. Don't just come because you can afford beer and you're shouting at
Can I
ref.
tell you something? You cannot control fans.
Yes,
but the fans' opinion should not be dictatorial.
Yes, it shouldn't be.
So I don't think anything you're going to say about fans is going to be valid.
It's going to be valid in my angle, from my point of view, because one, you do not understand. Most of the fans, I was telling you guys earlier on, most of the fans, there are guys who are there, and he doesn't know that rugby even has formations. The guy, he knows soccer properly, 4-4-2, I don't know 3-1, but you tell him that rugby, he will tell you how.
Backliners,
For him, he knows backliners, scrum, forwards, Chiwede. The ball is coming, it is going to the winger. That is, you get it? Now, how am I going to argue with a guy who thinks that rugby is just about forwards?
No, but I think that's a form of gatekeeping that you're putting in.
Yes, I also think.
How is it gatekeeping?
There are guys that don't understand formations.
And we also started there. I think we also started in that manner.
But that is true.
Yeah.
But we should also, as fans, we should also respect the premises we watch these games from. We shouldn't just, because tomorrow I may walk out of rugby, but rugby is going to stay. We should embrace that. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than all of us. I mean, who knew that I would be a Cob today? Yeah. So let us embrace. Let us love our referees. Our referees, by the way, guys think our referees are paid. Yeah. I was going for a school's rugby game. I was watching those games in Namilyango and I'm driving from home. I reached Seta, and one of the referees was going to officiate the game. Was actually walking from Seta to Namilyango. Do you know that distance? Ask
We know it.
to jump
We
on
know
it.
it.
It's even you.
We know it.
That distance is long. The guy was, so I stop and I'm like, hey, what's up? He tells me, I didn't end up on game. Told him even me that's where I'm headed. Yeah? And then you're going to shout, these people are sacrificing. We should also respect that. How would you
Eating rice
feel?
with no sauce.
You know, rice has no
Yet you
meat.
keep saying Muchere Munyama.
Yeah?
And then you're hearing fans shouting, "Oh, Muchele Munyam," when you eat rice without sauce.
So the decisions of the referee, we can contest, we can agree to them, but in a more organized manner.
Yes, but for me, out of that entire incident, as a person that has experienced quite a lot of violence within this sport, I think, especially
Your
for
violence
Chad
was
Dondo,
actually-
especially for Chad Dondo, there's need to discipline the players, and second and most of all, there is need to put, what do they call them? Those stewards.
Crowd control is something that has been talked about.
We need to pay Dixon.
Because my friend Don, a bottle was thrown at him. That it was a night game, I think.
And I think
he
his phone
was
never
a
came back.
photographer.
Yes, he was a
So
photographer.
what did he do to warrant that? That's what I'm trying to understand. Why would someone
that's
throw
what
a
I'm
photo
saying.
at a random photographer?
Now, you saw what happened during that game. Personally, I wasn't there, but I was watching the game online. And I thought that the fans' constant pushing and the noise and them attempting to attack the referee could have induced some of those mistakes that were made. So for me, I think even before we start blaming the referees, at some point, man, there's some things we've been asking for, but clubs have refused. I think that club is waiting for somebody to die.
But Ruben, you see, there's something I want to also talk about. Yes, guys came at me on Twitter and all. But even just in this small conversation, how comes nobody is saying at Legends, at Kings Park, at Makerere, or Entebbe? I know the Entebbe guys just have these small things. But, it is, why does it have to be Chadondo? If everybody is talking about you and you keep saying there's no problem, then
There
there's a
have
problem.
been scuffles at Legends.
Yes, they have been. They have been sorted out.
Drama has been much at Shadow.
Yeah, but
Edgar can
there
tell you.
is a
Legends
way.
is the home of rugby.
Actually, Legends is the home of rugby. Kampala Rugby Club is the
Yes,
home of
that
rugby.
is true.
Chadondo is a child. Legends. Yeah?
Mm.
So let Chadondo sit down and ask. Let the management sit down. Let them not. By the way, these things people are speaking online and this and this. I have confession. If I could read out, people have sent me in my DMs and told me their various experiences. I mean, very weird shit happening. Yeah, but who are you going to talk to? Who is going to help you? Yeah, I mean, Baron's incident. Who responded to it? Everybody knows it happened, but like it remained there. We need accountability. Yeah.
I mean, I've actually been attacked several times. I know everyone has that incident that they are always projecting onto me. But if you ask the likes of Kimeze, Adrap, and Semuemba, a Kratos camera was broken.
Oh, interesting.
Same club. I think Joel, the cameraman, Joel knows about this. Of like, it's always this one place. It's always this one club. You see, if you're saying Buffaloes is also doing this, but it's always that one club. That is
You're
having
out a
those
club.
people,
We are
those
here.
fans.
You say, now which club are you talking of? What if you're saying Mongas and
But
you guys Mongas are peaceful guys?
Mongas has so many
Maybe minding
problems.
their own business. They are trying to look for
By the way,
fencing for their pitch.
Just fishing and
I keep forgetting that Mongas is in the league. Like sometimes I can be there writing the teams in the league, then I'm like, there are 10.
But there is one missing.
Which
Like,
one? Which one? Then Madame is like, the one in Entebbe.
Guys just be there fishing their stuff.
Mongas is in its own vibes, yeah. But hopefully, with this wave, let's give them a benefit of doubt.
I'm not. I'm familiar with
do
this.
we hope to ever see you shoot rugby again?
Yeah, I've been shooting rugby again. I shot.
That means
schools
you're
rugby.
just shooting in Kamoli these days. Why people don't know?
I know Baron employs people. The last time I met him at the rugby
I'm
ground,
sorry.
you know,
I keep forgetting
I
that
asked
he's
him already
international now.
in the camera and he told me no. Enaku zino nyina abalenzi ababikolera.
Yeah,
I
but,
just
but, but even now, I'm more into. I would like to like mentor people when I'm on pitch. I don't necessarily have to like shoot as much as I had to. Share my little knowledge with the rest of the people and let them take the light.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. So, but I shoot rugby. I'm still into rugby, but it's just that one club that I'm best and happy to avoid. But the rest of the clubs, I'm happy to shoot them.
Okay. I hope that one club has gotten the message. But anyway, as we start to think about closing, I want to ask this. Do you think rugby fans are entitled? Or are there complaints / accusations / submissions valid? Because you can find in a case that there was no footage of something, then there is footage, and they say the footage is now not clear. When the footage is a bit clear, then we don't have commentary. Then why don't we have a sponsor? Then now we have a sponsor giving us 20 million, but why are they giving us only 20 million? Do you think rugby is entitled, or do you think their rants are valid.
No, I think rugby is a game of elites, but is managed by in a funny way.
Hey,
Is
that-
what
I
I'm
was
saying.
waiting for the name, but you've disappointed. It's
No,
okay.
because half the guys that are in the like supporting rugby, most of the fans are from what we call the grade 8 schools, and these are some of the best elites. But then it's I feel like it's actually not the fans that have been gatekept. It's the administration that is a closed circle that is doing things in a way they see best
They're
and
secretive.
benefits. Yeah, there's a lot of secretiveness around there, and then they're doing a lot of things according to what they think. For me, during my very active time in rugby, what caused the most controversy was me saying things that no one wanted to say. You see, when I see guys now doing banter, and these are the guys that used to hate us. They used to be like,
You have been cancelled for banter.
yeah, like, but now when I see
There is
the
one time a job called me, I was at work.
Hey,
Uliwa njagala kukwata kukati nemusanga.
like we're calling you.
He texted. I wasn't responding. He called. But these days for job, it's not fun. So the evolution has been,
but you see the evolution in the fans is there, but in the administration it has stayed like that. Clubs are not getting money like they have to. We first have to rant on Twitter. Players are not being paid by clubs in the way that we feel best. Sponsorships are done in shady ways. The last time I was arguing with Desire Derek Mogumisa, very many years I've always argued with him and telling him that his conversations don't make sense to me about how they give sports exposure. I think rugby is a sport that is properly exposed in this country among the people that it has to get to. You see, golf does not
Target
go,
market.
Yeah, golf does not go around trying to look for everyone.
Yes.
It has its market. Yes, we are
Capitalize on that.
Yeah, we've capitalized on that. Guys watch games. I've worked at Kratos. I've been through that streaming process. I've been at Kao. I've seen numbers there. And it's just us capitalizing on those numbers. But they bring deals of money, we are giving you exposure, and that's what these guys are taking. And then they tell us very
NBA
many
said they were
stories.
coming with exposure.
Yeah.
Those are these there.
My
money.
friend. Exposure in this era. Who are you exposing? Kamala San exposed rugby long time. So for you, even Fat Cats is exposing
I
rugby.
remember when CEO Isaac Mutama came into office, I had an interview with him. I asked him about the deal with NBA Sport. He didn't disclose. He told me he has just come into office, but with time, he will give the details. So if Mutama sees this, sir, I'm waiting for the details.
Now, you see what
Hope
I'm
it
talking
finds
about?
him well.
The funds have evolved, they have embraced different things, but the administration, the deals have stayed the same, the money sharing has stayed the same. There is nothing that has changed. The way rugby PR, Uganda Rugby Union PR, has barely changed. The things that they used to do post scores and stuff is what they do. There is no change in the communication, in the content they're giving us. It's just stagnant there. They do the bare minimum and they're comfortable with it. I think what is being get cap. That's how
Hey,
it's
Joe,
The smarkest
Yes,
goes
get
has
up.
come and attacked you, but we continue.
But so I think it's the administration, and if once the administration opens up and lets in new people and they accept new ideas, a man like Khoty,
Yes. That is very true.
a man like Sama, a man like Nyombi. You see, we've managed to evolve Dungwas. Dung used not to like banter, by the way.
He was just a ritzy guy. What?
So we've managed. Like, there are so many people I think that need to be more involved. Look at Posha. I was telling Posha what she had done at Kings Park. If she had done it for rugby as a whole, I think it would have benefited. You look at the work we've done at MPs over the years, how we've kept the noise going even when no one believed that rugby could be something big on Twitter. Before they brought the influencers, we were the OGs. Yeah. You follow me? So I honestly think, I honestly think it's the administration that is being gatekeeping the sport. And if that opens up and they accept to evolve, and this sport is going to sell.
Let us just be open to new ideas, borrow a leaf or two.
And also
from
have
other
different
sports.
people come into some of these roles. I mean, We have had some guys be in these roles for now coming to I don't know how many years.
And guys are
Or
saying
them
we are removing a
having
dictator.
been in this position, then they just move to the next one like this. So it's the same
Like,
people.
they-
Jay.
they-
Actually, the truth is, with those positions at Uganda Rugby, I think they are now, it's almost hereditary. A guy knows that when I live here, trust me, I have a feeling they're even, a joke mate be competing with me in 2027. You know? I don't even, me, I want Fasi's forms. You might be competing with me in 2027 because he just came, boom, and, you know, he was there. He was put there, vice president, commercial, and what. You know, they are keeping these positions for specific people, but we are coming.
But you know, they might argue that it comes with the experience. For
No.
me, it's I want the offices to be more open. You know, a place that people could easily go to, and like people that are more approachable.
Not a container.
My G, you cannot go to URU to express yourself. Or like, it's so hard.
It's
to talk to a
intimidating
guy.
just to go to URU, by the way.
It's not intimidating, but it's a place that it's not welcome.
It's not welcoming.
But now, a guy like me,
What is a guy like you?
man, I'm the guy that started banter. I'm the guy that me Sama, the likes of Nyombi, were the guys that actually made people open Twitter accounts.
That's true.
So you-
Elon Musk should give you guys your card.
Yeah, so guys
that's
like
also
and you know, Twitter is, I think, one of URU's worst place to be, which I think should be the best, because ababanyisa abalioko ababasoja
I want to question, I've not been on Facebook for long. Is URU active on Facebook?
Yes,
They are.
They are more active than they are on Twitter.
No,
Who's the PR of URU, first of all?
I know the social media handle.
Who's the social media handle?
She blocked me.
Who?
Just look
I
for someone.
have a message for her.
You on fat
Why are you saying her?
Because he said she blocked him.
Oh.
Yes.
She watches Fat Cat.
Yes, because there is a lot that is lacking. Clubs are even doing more work than URU.
But me, what you were talking about of air?
Yes, you were saying that there
league
should be an entity,
Yeah, the league should become an entity of itself.
like the NFL.
And have a
No,
governing
not the NFL.
body.
The UPL. You see, the UPL is not part of Cooper.
Yes.
I no longer see value in URU.
You really think you guys are going to put money into somebody else?
Actually, that's the problem. That's the gatekeeping. I feel like there is money to get guys
By the
into
way-
goals, but the budgets have always been kept away from us. I've never
Sama,
seen.
Ruben, and Baron, huh? These things we keep saying there's no money. Let us use an example how teams were rioting. They were not going to play. Where? You want to tell me URU went to Ministry of
They
Sports
got
and they
a
gave
loan
them,
from Platinum Credit.
they got a loan from Platinum.
We are sending our invoice, Platinum Credit. Thank you.
So-
But anyway,
I don't think the excuse of no money.
We can't use an excuse of no money. Ruben, we all come from families. Our parents have fed us. We are now old people. We strive to ensure that we eat every day, right? But is it that we have money every day?
not really.
Hey,
Apart from Edgar,
Summer,
not
it's
really.
Summer it is kawa. Even if he doesn't have, we understand. He's a ref.
He will get right.
What is one of the questions we asked Tonchu, or was asked to Tonchu, was how much do referees actually earn? And he said something, but he was saying that I'll go back and cross check. Actually, it wasn't us. Remember, it was NBS.
Yeah,
What
on that
do you say you're
debate.
going to
I was watching.
How much do they really pay referees in this
But let's
country?
start. When he said he wasn't sure, I was shocked.
That is a shocker.
It means if the president doesn't know what referees are earning, how is he going to change it?
Mm.
So yeah, it was a sorry, it
Yeah,
was a
it was a
shocker.
shocker.
A choker as well. Mm.
But I think one of the problems that I've actually come to realize is how fan zone gets more money than referee.
But
Ah.
we get scenario of Kings Park. Kings Park was paid 30K for full day.
No, but no.
With that funny rights. Remember,
15.
I say in Kavuli.
Mm-hmm.
So I put in my transfer.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's like 10K. So at the end of the day, I have 20K.
Of
course,
you've drunk 2 beers.
it doesn't leave King's Park. It doesn't leave King's Park.
So the one you need to keep in circulation.
I drank my 3 beers that day, and I left. I went home. I put my wheels aside. I put the boots far in the box like.
And then like,
Masai Afunam. Yeah, so, but you ask problems with URU. But it has always been communication. Communication. So I hope when the president takes over, this is the second
He's
time,
not
second
taking
chance.
over when he continues.
Okay, when he continues. So second chance to get things right.
okay.
Yeah, so we hope at least communication. Coach has been the
This is
problem.
final term, right?
Communication.
Yeah.
When the last time we checked on the URU website?
I keep checking. There's
I've never-
nothing.
I go and check.
Me, I've
the
told you
links.
the replicas they show they are being sold. HOD was still on the 7th team.
What do you guys think about the current team that has been voted in? I saw you talk about Zeno and
I-
getting his 24 votes. 24?
Yeah,
He
got
did
24.
expect to get 2, but then by
No.
Saturday night he thought 4 is what he would
No,
get.
Zeno knew he was going to amass those 24. Zeno was just playing with your minds.
But yeah,
He
Zeno,
knew he was getting. He had done his
I
groundwork.
like Zeno. Zeno thinks he's open-minded and he thinks out of the box. He will tell you things you don't want to hear, but you go back home in your bed and you're like, Zeno, what Zeno say?
But do you think he's the kind of character you'd want to have in a big dignitary kind of office?
I would want him there.
I mean,
Because he can
what's
first
stopping-
blow off with other Rugby Africa guys and tell them, man, you guys, F you.
No, but Ruben,
Yeah, he
we-
could do
we-
that, but I feel like he's
for me,
aggressive.
we've seen-
When he
we've
has
seen
an
Zeno-
idea,
we've seen
he'll
Zeno
go through
doing
with
his
it.
personal business, his private business. The way he approaches his private business is very, very different from most people. See this Zeno, nye. Actually, they don't even see. They have the story of beer in their heads, and that has clouded them. They're in that bubble of this is a madman. You get it? But Zeno is actually he's an intelligent guy. He's a Luo, obviously. Luos are cool guys.
But
Zeno can be there.
so the only thing I hope is that these guys who knows can stay and help push the sport forward. Because during that debate, I had an it was an NBA sport. Yeah, you could see Phil. He has got so many brilliant ideas for rugby. So it would be sad to lose a man like him.
Oh, he did say that he has,
He's
in
not
regards
standing.
to administration, he's done. He's just going to be a fan now.
Yeah, we just hope he can at least be a consultant.
No,
Because he had brilliant ideas, and it would be sad to see them go to West. Yeah, so people like Zeno, we still need them around.
if
That's the
Godwin,
thing I was
Godwin
telling you
watches
guys,
this
of
podcast,
like, the URU does not welcome people that are not within it, that are not inside it. It's so hard.
But one could argue that Phil is boys with Godwin Kayangwe, so, and he was working with them. I mean, when even in their first tenure, I mean, him running Rugby Africa and creating such a great tournament was under the mandate of the Uganda Rugby Union. So
yeah.
same people.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It
But
would be sad to
you see,
lose him.
That's
from
when
this.
they have no option.
Let's not lose him, and
that is because he has a
I
child
hope
on.
he watches this.
He was a
We
great
would really love.
Yeah, we
his
hope
ideas.
that-
Even Sama was on the organizing.
Hey,
Yeah, by the way, Phil gave me that opportunity. He gave me that opportunity to work with something big like that. So I'm always grateful to him.
And
He
mine
gave me
is,
platform.
Ruben, am I allowed to pass it?
yeah.
Ruben, am I allowed to pass on a personal message?
Pass it. You're going to pass on your
Pass a personal message to the president.
We do hope that Philip can reconsider.
Yeah,
Minds like
Yeah,
his
yeah.
are, I think, some that need to be
tapped into.
tapped into, nurtured, and
I think I had a private conversation with Philip. He is an intelligent man. He's a man that works with being accountable, and he's a man that believes in building structures, something that many of the current chairmen and people at GRE have failed to do. So I think him being in the sport, staying, and maybe reconsidering to come back against Khoty
Yeah,
in 2027.
2027, I feel. Come, let's have a fun run.
Well, while we're looking at 2027, we really wish Godwin Kayangwe and his team the best
Yeah,
of
I-
a 4-year tenure.
I
And we
wish
hope
them
to
the
see a
best.
lot of growth, a lot of development in this time frame. So, gentlemen, one last remark from each of you. I want to ask you in just a few seconds for each of you. What is the one thing you love about rugby in Uganda? What's the one thing you hate about rugby in Uganda? Starting with you, Sama.
Man, you didn't give me time to think.
Okay, while you're still thinking, as you're also thinking, first give us the message you wanted to pass on very quickly.
My message is to the president, Godwin Kayagwe. If he's really open and welcoming to ideas, I mean, he can reach out to me. Yeah, my number
Your
is
manifesto?
out there. I can share my manifesto. I can share the ideas that the people wanted. You see, my PA, Olive, has been ranting and she's saying now Khoty out because I
So
disappointed
Olive is
them.
your PA.
Yeah,
When does she get time to work? She looks like she's always on a bender drinking somewhere.
she's working right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm willing to share my manifesto with Godwin, and hopefully we shall work together and take rugby further than West Nile doesn't have rugby. I live and work in West Nile, and sometimes I feel like rugby, so I'm forced to go to YouTube.
That means you have to watch the podcast a lot more. So, Sama, back to you.
Okay, what I like about rugby. I
In
think it's-
Uganda.
Yeah, of course. I think it's more about the ambience and the experience. The fans, how lively they are. Yeah, you know, a while back we used to have that light games. There's a game I think it was on Valentine's Day, the Buffalo's Pirates. It was on Valentine's Day, I can't forget. Heathens, I mean, Pirates guys walked out with flowers. That was the first time it was being done. It was so, I don't know. I still have that memory. It can never, get out of my head. So the experience is always up there. And also schools rugby. I'm very enthusiastic about schools rugby. It is very passionate. And
It's interesting.
Yes.
Those kids are putting
yeah,
their
and
bodies.
also the banter online after the school those three finals. Yeah, it's just funny to watch. Yeah. What I don't like about rugby is the frequent scandals. Yeah, things which can easily be managed if we had maybe a PR person in place, or if you could just communicate. Because someone accuses you of eating some money, but you didn't eat that money and you have accountability, but you keep quiet. Of course, someone is going to think you ate the money.
Well,
Because,
yeah.
I've had, sometimes money is diverted elsewhere to do something, and then they, reimburse. Tell people that your money was maybe, but you're going to pay in this rate. So, communication and maybe how referees are treated. Man, it's not kawa. Not kawa.
Baron.
For me, I won't talk about what I like and what I don't like, but I'll just say that the problem within Ugandan rugby, like Sama said, is communication. And it's a problem that we need to tackle if we want to develop. Yeah, that's it. We just need to handle communication because I'm pretty sure the guys did not, there's minimal consultation of, for example, the fans about who each club should vote for.
There was something where they told people that you need to also be actively involved in your clubs as fans. Don't just sit and drink.
But how
beer.
are you going to wear who's active?
When there's minimal communication.
Yeah. There is some
Should we have
communication,
a-
but I do agree with you that communication can be done better.
Yeah, there's more to communication that we can do and can elevate the sport really. But at least now there are more people with Twitter accounts in rugby. You can a simple professional message online really does a lot. Creating the fans clubs.
Yeah.
I feel like the chairman, fans created these clubs themselves, and they are not attached to the clubs. I feel like the chairman should come in and try to engage all
Merge
these
them.
fans, and they make it part of the club more. You get?
The 16th player is very important.
Okay. So
And
back to
the one thing I think I love most about Ugandan rugby is the connections. There are vast opportunities in Ugandan rugby. Every sector, Oli Muzimbi, all sectors are catered for. in that crowd that comes to watch rugby. The thing I hate about Ugandan rugby is the fact that everybody feels untouchable. You cannot say anything about rugby because everybody feels they know it all. Yeah, you cannot criticize, you cannot give your opinion, and that is not how we are going to grow the sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been an interesting conversation from myself and the gentleman. We thank you for being a part of the Fat Cats podcast. And as you can see, we have lost daylight. For those that are listening, just know it is dark and it is time for other festivities. There's a lot happening. It's a midweek. It's a Wednesday. But we'll always urge you guys to be connecting with us on our social media platforms, on our YouTube, on our audio podcast platforms as well. Always keep it the Fat Cats podcast and always engage from Sama, Okot, Edgar, and myself. Cheers.
Yes. That was a nice one. Fuck, man, there's been sounds outside.
Don't worry, they'll try to clean.
No, like
You've just noticed
I've just noticed there was sound around me. I was locked in.
It was a dope conversation.
Yeah, it was a dope